So good afternoon to everyone. I'm Chiara from the University of Bologna. I'm a PhD student there. And I'm going to give you some basic information on the Hackfest environment. Gerardo and Mark already gave you some clues during their presentation, but I'm going to explain how to access all the Hackfest resources so you can work then for your challenges with them. Okay, first of all, just let me recap about the Hackfest resources. The wiki page, you can find all information about OSM. Slack, and please join the Slack channel Hackfest so we can use this social to interact and give information. You can find the team up agenda and the presentation of the link you find here in the slide. We have a Google Classroom, and we will ask you later to fill another form in order that we can manage to choose the challenges according to your preferences. So we can assign then the group and all the resources. And finally, this is actually quite important. You find the Google spreadsheet with all the details about the resources that will be assigned to your groups. So please check in that file. Okay, Mark already introduced the Hackfest environment. We are connected to the OSM Hackfest Wi-Fi. I hope it works now. Yeah. And so you can access with them on the OSM external network. And all the resources are hosted in the Etsy Vim, which is the OpenStack that you will use. Also for some challenges. It depends on the challenge, actually. Some of them will need OpenStack, others will need Kubernetes, but mentors and will give you more details later. And then through the OSM external network, you will be able to access the group VM, which is the virtual machine running an OSM instance. We have multiple instances that will be assigned to the groups according to the challenge. And then we have also a single node Kubernetes cluster, which is also connected to the OSM Next. Okay, so as I already told you, you will work with different and separated OSM instances. I don't know if maybe one OSM is shared for those who just will work on the client side, but Gerardo will give you more details later. And then you will have also different OpenStack tenants. Tenants basically are projects, so you will work with a separated project and resources, and you will have the accounts with username and password to access the tenant. So first of all, of course, you will need to use an OSM instance, so you'll need to interact with it. There are several ways to access OSM. First of all, the dashboard. You see the home page, the home of the dashboard here in the picture. You have simply a recap of all the resources. Mark show you the content of some network service and DNF packages. So here you can find the recap. Of course, at the moment we don't have packages. So then the Vim accounts that basically are the account that let you interact with OpenStack, which is the virtualized infrastructure manager. And then you have a recap on the running instances and so on. And here on the left, you can find the menu with all the resources. To access the dashboard, according to the instance assigned to the group, you will have a different web user interface address, so please check the Google spreadsheet to know which is yours. So And the username and password are the same for every group. So every instance is admin, the default one. So you can access with them. Then there is another way, which is through SSH, directly to the OSM VM. I don't know if you need it, depends on the challenge, but you can access the VM. Again, check please the IP address in the spreadsheet. And the password, username and password are the same for every instance. And so Ubuntu and Hackfest. You have already seen some comments during the other presentation, but when you will have the resources assigned, you can check if you can access everything, and you can try some commands. For example, OSM Vim list and Kate cluster list, which simply shows the Vim already registered, and the Kubernetes cluster. And finally, there is a third option, actually. You can work also with a standalone OSM client. So with local, I mean, if you want to install it on your laptop, you can interact with the OSM VM and with the OSM instance, simply specifying, or you can run the commands with the host name option, and then the IP address of the instance, or setting the environment variable with which is OSM host name. And so you can manage to access you can interact with the normal interface of OSM from your laptop. Okay, then some challenges we require to interact with OpenStack. Again, you will have different tenants. You can access the dashboard. Since we have a unique OpenStack, the address is this one of the dashboard. And the username and password are those Hackfest 15 group X, and where X is the group number, basically. So again, you can find it in any case in the spreadsheet. And then you can also access the OpenStack. You can interact with the OpenStack also through the command line interface. You just need to set an RC file, and you have to install the OpenStack client. I don't know if it is already available also in the OSM VMs. It depends, I think, on the mentors if they ever install it or not, according also to the challenges. And you can try a command which is OpenStack image list, for example, which shows all the available images already uploaded in the Vim, so probably Ubuntu and so on. And this is an example of the OpenStack RC file. Of course, here you have the IP address. You need to change to access your resources, so your tenants, you need to change again the username and password and the project name. So X is again the group number. And finally, we have also a Kubernetes cluster. You can access through SSH to the Kubernetes virtual machine. The IP address is this one. And again, the username and password is Ubuntu and Hackfest. You can interact with the cluster using kubectl. So, for example, you can try later if you need kubectl get pods -a to see your running pods in the cluster. And you can also use it not directly on the cluster VM. You just need to install kubectl and use a kubeconfig file. You can find it, the content of the file. I think you can find it also in the spreadsheet. In any case, I put it here in the slide. I know there are a lot of, I don't know, it is a little bit overwhelming, this slide. I mean, simply it is the credential that you can use to access with kubectl the K8s cluster if you need it. Again, this will depend on the challenge, and you will have more details later. And so I don't know if you have any questions.